I was about to shoot my target when suddenly someone appeared from the shadows and snatched the apple away. It was the most popular guy in school, Travis, and lately he'd been flirting with me every chance he got. Let's play a game. If you miss the target, I'll have to kiss you. But if you hit it, then you'll have to kiss me. What do you say? Sure, why not? Everyone knew how good I was in archery, and as expected, it was a bullseye. Deal's a deal, cream puff. As he closed his eyes for the kiss, I called for the school cat Loki and whispered something to it. You can open your eyes now. Loki scratched his face like a wild animal as I walked away, in total satisfaction. Hi, my name is Bianca, and I'm incapable of falling in love. Well, that's what I thought. But before I continue, please like and subscribe. My mom owned a huge chain of hotels, and I was the sole heiress to the business empire. Our family name was well known already, but I'd really made us famous. Teen heiress seen kissing alleged gangster? Spoiled princess seen at archaeological site closed off for public? Princess Bianca announces to pay any amount to straighten the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Oh, each headline is worse than the one before. Alleged gangster, Mom. We broke up. And you know my keen interest in history. I had to see that site. And come on, am I the only one annoyed by that Leaning Tower? When will you ever get serious, Bianca? I have a private jet to catch, but we're not done with this conversation. Yes, go to your meeting, Mom. You didn't even remember to wish me a happy birthday, but I was still celebrating in style. I was having a huge birthday party at the newest club in town, but my night was ruined when I saw an uninvited guest, Travis, and he was approaching me and my BFF Carmen, as if he was God's gift to women, despite that scary face. Hey, sugar lips, wanna dance? Aren't you supposed to hate me for making you look like Frankenstein? What's love without a little pain? And I adore your feistiness. He was all over me the whole night. Eventually, I had to make Carmen distract him and try to escape, but he noticed and followed me like a madman. I'm not done with you, my love. I turned around a corner and opened the VIP door at the end of the hallway. There were some men in suits playing poker, and they all turned to me like I was an alien. Oopsie, wrong room. Thought it was the toilet. But may I say, sir, your jacket is really cool. Very vintage 90s. Michael Jackson kind of vibe. Okay, I won't bother you guys. May the best man win. Bye. Travis was nowhere to be seen, so I took the chance to finally leave the club. But of course, I couldn't avoid him at school, and he was being such a nuisance that eventually I got a restraining order against him. My life was finally peaceful, till a few days later when Carmen told me that her cousin from the village would be joining our school. Since when do you have a cousin? Ever since he was born? You never told me about him. I love to collect snake skins and samurai swords in my basement. I didn't tell you about those either. What? Friends should share everything. I think some secrets are good. Oh my god, my cousin's here. I turned to this guy who was walking towards us like he was the king of the underworld. Judging by his walk, he knew he was a fine specimen of the male species. But suddenly, he tripped over nothing and fell into the fountain nearby. And then he immediately got up like nothing happened. I felt like I was watching a comic cartoon strip. Are you sure he's not some hot model you paid to act as your clumsy cousin? Nice way to say that he's hot and adorable. He then spun her around like she was a cotton ball. Carmen, my favorite girl. I missed you so much. The guy turned to me and I was stunned. He was even more handsome up close and also really familiar. You must be Bianca, Carmen's best friend. I'm Slater. Nice to finally meet you. Did you just curtsy? And have we met before? No. Is this how city people greet each other? Excuse us a moment. Carmen pulled me out of Slater's earshot. What you doing? Talking to my best friend's cousin? Why does that require you to bring your face so close to his? I just thought he looked really familiar. What's your problem? I just think you're finding an excuse to flirt with him. Now listen up, Bianca. You're never serious about any boy, and you just play with their feelings and dump them. And you're not allowed to do that to my cousin. He's not even my type. Relax. Just don't get involved with him that way, or it's friendship over. Understood? Loud and clear, ma'am. Since then, the three of us started hanging out together, and I was having a hard time believing someone like Slater existed. Sheer perfection on the outside, but with the poorest balance a human could possibly have. He tripped, slipped, and stumbled everywhere. He even got a black eye while tying his shoelaces. But one night, while I was admiring one of the paintings at home, it hit me like a bolt of lightning. I remembered where I'd seen Slater before. You gotta trust me, Carmen. Your cousin's up to something shady. Mom and I attended this art exhibition downtown last month, and Slater was there. swear, he was one of the artists. We even bought a painting from him. Only his hair and eye color was different, but it was him, and he wasn't clumsy. He must have been a lookalike. Slater has lived in the village his entire life and just got here last week, and he can't even draw a circle, trust me. I even showed Slater's picture to Mom, and she said it's him too. Now she's contacted the artist to buy more of his work, and he's coming soon, and I'll finally know the truth. You just need to give yourself something to be excited about. Do what you want, but you're wrong. A couple of days later, the artist called Mom to say that he had to go out of town and he'd come to meet her next month. How convenient. I decided not to say anything to Slater and try to get to the bottom of his secret identity. He was always hovering around me and Carmen like an annoying fly. He was sure to slip up at some point. I'd be watching him. But one day, I was spying on him at the gym, and after seeing him miss the 100th basket, I got really bored. I decided to skip the rest of school that day to get a manicure. As I was walking to my car, a van suddenly stopped next to me. "Good day, child. Would you please buy some apples from me? I run an orphanage, and I'd like to get some toys for the children." "Sure thing. Just give me a basket and I'll give you $100,000. I was about to take the basket from her when Slater suddenly popped out of nowhere and crashed into me.
"Hey, you. Who do you work for? Show me your ID."
The poor lady looked terrified and just drove away. What the heck was that?
Didn't your parents ever tell you not to take candy from strangers? What if she was trying to poison you?
Dude, those are apples, not candy. And who am I? Snow White? And that cute granny is trying to poison me because I'm the fairest girl in all the land.
This isn't funny. You don't know how dangerous some situations can be.
Oh, please. I swam with sharks last year and jumped off a hot air balloon when it malfunctioned. I laugh in the face of danger, and that lady just wasn't dangerous. I know you're from the village and probably think everyone in the city's evil, but please stop being a weirdo. But Slater just got weirder. Like another time, the three of us were at a restaurant, and as soon as the waiter served our order, he started sniffing mine. If you wanted me to completely lose my appetite, you succeeded. What's wrong with you? He also started sniffing his food and Carmen's.
That's how we do it in the village. The first whiff of food tells you everything you need to know.
About what exactly?
About how organically the food was grown, if the farmer sang to his crops and cows.
I ordered a giant brownie sundae with whipped cream and sprinkles. Are you insane? Just give me that. Just then, there was a loud crashing sound next to us, and Slater jumped towards me and brought me down to the floor, covering me like a human shield. He was looking down at me, and I was a little breathless. And then I saw everyone else staring at us like we were mental. Apparently, a waiter had just dropped a tray full of glasses.
Oh, my bad. I thought it was a gunshot and maybe some robbers had come in. I just acted on instinct.
Wait, let me get this straight. So you thought it was a dangerous situation and your first instinct was to save Bianca? Hello, what about me? Your own flesh and blood? Slater muttered some apologies while Carmen kept scolding him, even if he was crazy. It was really sweet how he tried to protect me. One weekend, Carmen told me that the cheer captain was throwing a party, just for the cheerleaders and all the boys. I felt curious to see how Slater would act at parties with other girls, so I dashed over to the venue and spied from the bushes. But I couldn't spot him anywhere. I knew how girls looked at him. He was probably surrounded by the cheerleaders. Well, what did I care? I took this opportunity to practice my amazing singing. I can buy myself flowers, write my name in the sand, talk to myself for hours, say things you don't understand. Suddenly, I heard a sound right behind me. Slater, what are you doing here?
Same question for you.
I came here to sing flowers, 'cause you know, there are flowers here, duh. What about you?
It's too loud inside, and everyone was acting wild. It was scaring me.
Just then, a huge bug came flying at our faces, and Slater tried to smack it away, but he ended up slapping me instead.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. My hand is so stupid. Bad hand.
Gosh, Slater, why are you so freaking clumsy?
I don't know, just born that way, but I get even clumsier around you, because attractive girls make me nervous, and you're the most beautiful I've ever seen.
What do you mean?
You know what I mean, Bianca.
It suddenly hit me. He was attracted to me, and that could make things complicated. I had to avoid him from now on before Carmen could misinterpret things and unfriend me. But the very next day, I caught him in the janitor's closet with his butt stuck in a mop bucket. Jesus, what have you done this time?
Can you just help me, please? I think I got a cramp.
As I pulled him up, our lips accidentally touched, and my tummy fluttered. Just then, someone gasped from the door. Carmen! Girl, it's not what you think. I followed her to an empty classroom and tried to explain. I swear, there's nothing romantic going on between us. He's too dumb and clumsy for me, and I'm certain he's a liar. Excuse me? That's my cousin you're insulting. And you say these things, but I feel like you're attracted to him. Just don't don't get attached to him, okay? He's not right for you. Of course, duh. I already knew that, but I was a bit bothered by what Carmen said. Why did she think he wasn't right for me? A few days later, I was practicing archery alone when suddenly an arrow came flying from somewhere and almost hit me. I turned around and saw someone behind a tree. I dashed over and found Slater. What are you doing here? Trying to kill me now?
No, what? What just happened?
You happened, Slater. You nearly sent an arrow straight into me. You're a hazard to society.
Oh God, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize my arrow came your way. I mean, I didn't even know anyone was here. I would never hurt you, I swear. But let me make it up to you with an ice cream shake. Come on, let's go.
I wasn't finding his act convincing. Why was he always around me? He was beginning to seem as obsessed with me as Travis. And what if he tried to hurt me on purpose with the arrow?
By the way, are you free tonight? I want to talk to you about something. Just you and me, alone.
Okay, sure. But we're alone right now. You can't tell me over ice cream shakes?
What ice cream shakes? Oh, yeah, that. No, tonight's better. I'll send you the pin location. Driver, I'll get off here. Thanks. See you later, Bianca.
And then he just jumped out of the car and walked away. This dude was so weird, but I was really curious about what he had to say. Later that night, I was surprised to learn where he was taking me. The rooftop of an old building. There was no elevator, so we had to climb 8 flights of stairs, and he was holding on to my shirt like a kid. Wait, what if he tried to push me down? Can you move away? I need some personal space.
But what if I trip and fall down the stairs? You know how clumsy I get.
Why would you invite me to a rooftop then, idiot?
You'll see.
When we finally reached the top, I was surprised to see a candlelit dinner. What's all this?
Obviously a date. Were you expecting a crime scene?
Didn't your cousin warn you about me?
She did, but I just don't see why she's so against the idea of you being my girlfriend. You're beautiful and amazing.
She was trying to protect you because I have a history of not being good with relationships.
May I know why?
And before I knew it, I just found myself opening up. Growing up, I saw how my dad broke my mom's heart and left her for another woman. Since then, mom's not even the same person. She just buries herself in work. And dad kind of broke my heart too. Leaving like that, I'm just afraid to let anyone come close.
I know that you don't trust me, but I hope that someday you will, and I'll get to know you better. I feel like you're someone worth knowing.
He looked at me earnestly and then started leaning in. I found myself closing my eyes, and when his lips touched mine, I felt something electric. Wait, that was a mistake, Slater. I care a lot about my friendship with Carmen. I can't.
Okay, I understand.
But later that night, all I could think about was Slater and that kiss. Maybe I could talk to Carmen and she'd come around, but I still couldn't shake off the idea that Slater was lying about himself. As luck would have it, Mom told me the next day that the artist was back in town and he was displaying his work at a gallery that night. Well, Slater wasn't gonna be the only one in disguise. I went dressed up as someone completely different, and I was thrilled to see him. He might have a different style, but I was certain it was Slater. And as I was walking past him, I accidentally tripped and fell forward, scraping his arm with my pen. I'm so sorry. I'm not very good with the walking. Clumsy, like you people say. Oh, it bleeds.
It's fine, miss. I'm okay. Excuse me. I need to use the bathroom.
And the next day at school, Slater was wearing a full-sleeved shirt, just like I'd expected. So I spilled my juice all over him. Oh my god, you're wet. You'll have to change your shirt.
It's fine. It'll dry up.
No, you'll get sick.
I won't. I'm as strong as a cow.
I tried a few more tricks, but he was able to avoid all of them. I guess I just had to do it by force. After our classes, I followed him outside school, and just as I was ready to jump on him from behind, he turned around and pinned me to the wall.
Bianca, why were you trying to attack me?
How did you know, Spider-Man? And all I wanted to do was this. I pulled up his sleeve, and sure enough, he had a long cut on his arm. Ha! So you're really that artist. I've exposed you, you big fat... Suddenly, there was a growl behind me. I turned to see 2 guys holding 2 rabid dogs and pointing at us.
Bianca, just run.
Slater grabbed my hand, and we ran like crazy from the dogs. After sprinting down several blocks, he pulled me into an old building, and we ran up the stairs. We climbed all the way to the rooftop, and we could hear those guys behind us.
Okay, there's no other choice. We gotta jump.
Excuse me? I must have heard you wrong. And what is going on?
Questions later. And what's the matter? I thought you laughed in the face of danger. Haha.
Now is not the time to be sarcastic.
Just hold on to me and you'll be fine. Do you trust me?
Of course I don't trust you. You're the clumsiest idiot I've ever met.
Listen, Bianca, I'm not who you really think I am. I just need you to trust me right now, okay? I won't let anything happen to you. I promise.
My instincts told me to trust him, and I did. And what happened next was the most thrilling thing ever. We went flying through the air, then landed straight in a garbage dump. Ew, fish heads.
Come on, this isn't over yet.
I needed answers about why I was currently running a marathon with my BFF's mystery cousin around the city. Slater, why are these people after us?
Listen, something happened.
He didn't get to finish because the gangsters finally cornered us. Slater pushed me inside one of the diners as he started fighting them expertly. What were these kung fu ninja moves? He was so hot. Just then, one of the guys came up behind him with a metal chair. I looked around for anything I could throw at that scumbag before he could hurt Slater. Bullseye.
That's my girl.
Just then, a bunch of policemen arrived and surrounded the men, and Slater pulled out a badge.
You're under arrest.
What? He was a detective? As those jerks were being taken away, Slater finally told me everything, starting with how I unknowingly got involved with an international mafia gang.
You walked in on them one night at the dance club and saw something you weren't supposed to see. You've been in danger since then.
Oh, those guys. But I swear I didn't even see anything.
They couldn't be sure of that, so you've been their target since. I was already in town looking for this gang and posing as an undercover artist, but when we found out that they were looking for you, I joined your school to be closer. We also thought we could catch them using you.
You mean using me as bait?
I didn't mean use you like that. We just knew they'd come after you.
So that date on the rooftop, was that also a ploy to get the gang members there?
Well, yeah. We had police hidden all over that building, but I think the gang realized it was a trap.
Everything made sense now. He was just pretending to be interested all along so he could be around me for my protection and to catch the bad guys. I was just a mission for him. You saved my life. Thank you.
I just did my job. I'm glad you're safe now. I gotta report to headquarters soon, so...
Yeah, great job. Goodbye then. As I walked away, I suddenly felt sad and empty. And the next day at school, Slater was gone. I demanded more answers from Carmen. Slater really is my cousin. He became a detective at a young age, and he doesn't tell us much about his job. But after that restaurant incident where he was clearly protecting you, I asked him what was going on, and he said it was something related to you, but it was confidential. So that's why you didn't want us to get closer. Yes, because he was just here for his job, and he doesn't form attachments. I didn't want you to get hurt. I'm sorry. What for? I can see it in your eyes, Bianca. You're in love with him, but I don't think he can make you happy. Oh, please. I've told you, I'll never fall in love with anyone, if you say so. Over the next few days, I tried my best to get back to normal, but I couldn't get Slater out of my mind. Even Mom noticed something was up with me.
Haven't seen any crazy headlines lately. No new adventures?
Yeah, it's been kinda quiet, but I did make one stupid mistake, falling in love. Mom sat down beside me and then pulled me into an awkward hug.
Sweetie, I know you've been affected by what your dad did, but don't close your heart off. Falling in love isn't stupid, and you'll find the right guy one day, and it'll be amazing. Trust me.
Mom decided to take some time off work and we planned a vacation together. But just as I was leaving for the airport, I heard a loud crash from the main hall and saw Slater had pinned Travis to the ground. Slater? Travis? What are you both doing here?
Bianca, my cream puff, I couldn't go on any longer without seeing you. I can't live like this. You really need to tighten security around here. Found him crawling through the dog door.
As Slater handed over a screaming Travis to the guards, he turned to me. Why are you here, Slater?
Same reason as Travis, actually. I really missed you. Wait, where are you going?
Sorry, can't disclose the location. It's top secret, so whatever you want, make it fast.
I got another mission.
Okay, so what is it?
I need you to fall in love with me and be my girl.
Oh, well, that sounds like it's gonna be a very hard mission.
I'm not afraid of challenging assignments.
He pulled me in for a kiss and then hit his forehead against mine. So you're naturally clumsy.
Hello, my name is Isabel and I'm a 13-year-old girl. I live with my parents and my 2 younger sisters. Since I turned 12, I've started to notice how my body was changing as I was entering puberty. My skin wasn't as soft as it used to be, and acne started to appear on my face. On top of that, my body hair was more visible and excessive than ever before. Because of that, I developed an insecurity over the way I looked, that even staring at myself in the mirror made me feel like a hairy mess. But the worst part about this whole thing was that my mother wouldn't allow me to do anything about it. Every time I reached out to her for some guidance on how to deal with my excessive hair or my skin problems, her only response would be that I'm perfect the way I am, and there is no need to change anything. I was so frustrated. No matter how much I tried to explain to her that I would feel more comfortable if she would just allow me to shave or put some makeup on, she would start this talk about being comfortable with myself, regardless of my puberty side effects. How could she be so blind to the way I looked? It was obvious that I was one of those girls who needed extra body care, with my unibrow and moustache sticking out. It was just unbearable. To deal with my problem, I decided to drop by Monica's place every morning before school. Monica was my best friend, and she let me use her makeup. Having some makeup on always made me feel better about the way I looked. Additionally, Monica offered to help me get rid of my unibrow, and that alone made me feel much better. Going to school always required this effort, but at least I felt much more comfortable. That way no one from my friends really knew about what I'm hiding, including David, the boy I like in my class. We used to hang out a lot, and it was always fun when he's around. Until one day he commented that I looked pretty. You can't even imagine my excitement and happiness hearing that. But at the same time, I wondered if he'd think the same knowing how I really looked. Later that day, David came to ask me if I'd like to go with him to the pool party at the end of the week. I was so excited and quickly said yes. Oh, wait. What have I done? I can't go to a pool party and show off my hairy body. Even worse, getting in the water will wear off the makeup on my face. It was a nightmare. I couldn't believe that I agreed to this. I considered telling David that I can't go, but it was too late. He'd probably think that I don't like him and even consider going with someone else. Over my dead body. I decided to act as if I'm not in the mood to swim, and I wore a long white dress that covered my hairy legs. And as usual, I had my makeup on. When I went to the party, I saw everyone having a good time at the pool, and the water looked tempting. However, I told David that I wasn't feeling very well, and I'd like to stay dry for the rest of the day. He wasn't too pushy about it, and after a while he went to swim with the rest of our friends. However, my friends started shouting from the pool, telling me to join them. I said no with a shy smile, but they kept pushing. They started splashing me with water, and I ended up being dragged into the pool. Everyone thought it was funny, and they were laughing. But suddenly, the laughing stopped, and everyone looked at me as I stepped out of the pool and started crying uncontrollably. My makeup was smudged, my hair got messy, and worst of all, everyone could see how hairy my legs looked underneath the white dress. I quickly ran inside, and I called my mom to come to pick me up. I waited for her outside without saying goodbye to anyone, not even to David. When she arrived and saw me crying hysterically, my mom looked very worried. I couldn't even look at her in the eyes. Everything was her fault, and I was very angry. I started telling her how embarrassed I was today because of her stupid rules about loving my body the way it is. I screamed and cried all the way home. My mom, however, did not say anything. She said that she will talk to me when I calm down. I couldn't believe this was my life. I was humiliated not only in front of everyone I know, but also in front of my crush, David. And I hated my mom for it. After a while, my mother knocked on my room door. I told her to come in. She sat on the side of my bed and explained that she understands that I am angry with her, but there is something important she needed to say. She explained that when she was my age, her mother made her very self-conscious about her body when she hit puberty. She took my mom every week to the salon to get rid of her body hair. She always told her that girls who don't take care of that stuff are ugly, and that made my mother struggle with her body image, which got her to decide that she won't do that to me. As a result, she wanted to help me embrace my body the way it is, instead of making me feel good by undergoing a painful and unnecessary process. That moment, my anger started to fade. I could see where my mother's opinions were coming from, and honestly, she did have a point. I was very self-conscious about these things, to the point I forgot it doesn't reflect who I truly am. The way I approached this issue was unreasonable, and crying in front of everyone because of some hair on my legs was definitely an exaggeration. I should have been more confident in myself regardless of this, and it was the lesson my mother was trying to teach me all along. My mom then said that she hates to see me this upset, and told me that we can drop by the beauty salon right now if I want to. Surprisingly, I didn't care much about going to the salon anymore, even though I've been dying to go there for months. I told my mother that it can wait, and instead we decided to go out together and get some ice cream. As for David and the rest of my friends, they kept asking me what made me that upset, as they had no clue what went on. It seems like they didn't even notice. Did you like my story? Please share in the comments your experience with puberty and whether you can relate. And don't forget to subscribe to stay tuned with our daily animated stories.